We are back. All right, so what I just did, if you're just joining now, the first time, we just went through a quick and dirty solo variant of Rallyman GT, and I just paused the stream, set up a new course here, and we're gonna get going on a new version or a new track here with one more racer. So again, for those just hopping in, there is a solo mode to Rallyman GT, but I'm not using that because that's just a solo time trial mode. I'm going to be using the driverless cars variant, which you can find in BGG, and it essentially gives you the opportunity to race against other cars. There is I think it's a more advanced version of this AI, which gives them actual dashboards, which I haven't tried yet, but this one is a very easy to learn solo system that will let you basically simulate how it acts in multiplayer, and this is how it does work. So what we're going to be doing is I'm the green car here, and we'll be racing against the red and the orange car here. So the difficulties, we're going to split them up a little bit. So the red car is going to be a little bit more advanced than the orange car. The orange car is going to be the rookie. Now what happens is when it comes to the orange car's turn, they're going to roll one white dice and one red dice. And then we'll see what that is. So essentially, each of these cars you're going to be rolling dice for. And then you move each car 3 spaces plus any dice that do not have exclamation points on them. For the silver variant, or for the silver class that this GT is in, you're going to roll 1 red and 1 white. The red dice has 1 more exclamation point, so there's more chances of it, whereas the white die has only 1. You're going to roll both of these, and you're going to move 3 spaces plus any blank dice that were rolled. The red car is going to be the silver, which we just tested out before, but it's going to be the silver kind of class, we'll call it. And it's going to just roll 2 white dice, so less of a chance of a loss of control, but it has 2 white dice. And there are 3 more classes above that, which we're just going to take this easy because this is my first time on this track. Civil War. This is my first time on this specific track. This is core track 6. So in the book, it is the 6th track that is suggested in the book. So I'm gonna fix the lighting as I develop this stream here, but essentially this is me looking over the course for the first time, and there are definitely some fast areas here that I see. But coming into the first turn is a 1 mile per hour zone with a couple of hazards here. These are 2 mile per hour or second gear zones here. Another second gear. We have a 4 and a 5 here. Max 5th gear here. Decent straightaways here. But we also have a third gear here, kind of rounding it into the home here with a very sharp 1 gear turn. Mandatory 1 gear here. So only super slow here on these 2 spots, and then it's a couple twosies here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go first, so it'll be in this first go. It's gonna be myself first, followed by red, and then orange, and then we'll see how it goes. But in this solo variant, which is I highly recommend it if you have this game. It's pretty cool. You play your turn as you would normally, and then just the rest is kind of, I'll explain as we go for the AI, but for you, it's all the same. And it looks like a slow start for this course, as the first corner comes up soon, and it's a 1. It's a hard 1. So I'm gonna start, and obviously I have to start in first gear because that's we're in 0. You can't coast. So I'm going to do coast, and what I already see an issue with the AI, but we'll get into it in a second. And I'm gonna go up here to 2. Now that's the only thing I can think of doing because I have to enter these spaces at 1, and that's it. Like I can't do less than that. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do 1, coast and then gear up to 2. I can gear down later. There's no other way. There's no other way to get in there. So I'm going to roll these at one. I'm going to go flat out, as they call it. I have no hazard dice. Regardless, I've rolled 4 dice that weren't break dice, so I get 1 token per dice, 1 focus token. So I'm going to get 4. I'll find that one later. And get 4 of these focus tokens. I'll put right here. And then my car will end up, where did I say it'll be? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be up here in the middle at 2nd gear. So I take my gear token here on the black side and put it right there. It is now the red car's turn. So you roll for the red car. What we're doing is we're doing the more advanced, I believe it's called silver. So we're going to roll 2 white dice for the red car. And it's going to move 5 spaces. It doesn't pay attention to the speed limits necessarily. So it's going to move 5 spaces in the most efficient way that it can. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to cut me off right here for 5. I'm going to play a little aggressive, so it's going to be right there, and it's going to be in 1st gear. So we take the red gear marker, and it's blocking me right here in 1st gear, pretty much. So I think we'll still be able to get going here, but that's that person's move. And now we're going to go to the orange car, and the orange car again is rolling a red and a white dice. So it's a little bit slower than us. It's more opportunity for damage. That's why. So I'll roll these 2, and so we get 1 hazard dice. So it's going to move 4 total spaces. So it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the rules are for this that because there's no speed limit on this tile specifically, and it didn't come out of it did not come from a tile that had a speed limit, it will end here in 5th. So it basically gives it a leg up to do more, to do the it basically almost forces it to go first if it's on a straightaway, if you're not going that fast. So now we're in the black round, so we flip this over to the black. We go to who is going fastest, and that is the orange car. So the orange car gets to go again, even though it's going the fastest out of all of us. It's definitely illogical for a human to get up to 5th gear so soon, but as the AI, it has to have some rule breakers to be able to kind of make it a little bit more competitive. And this is kind of that compromise. So we're going to roll the red and the white for the orange car, and it's going to move 4 spaces again. So in the best way that it can, it's going to go, and I should say it should go here because the rules state here that it favors the outside. That way it can go kind of a bit more agile. So it's going to move 4 spaces. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, and it'll go 4. So it'll go right here. And then the rules state, again, it's coming out of a turn that had a 1 gear limit, going into a corner that has a 2 gear limit. So it's in between 2 speed limits, so you get to choose. You get to choose based on how you want. So I'm going to give this guy 1. I'm going to say he's coming out of here at 1. That's that. The next fastest is me, so I get to go next. I'm in 2nd gear. I'll need to break down to 1st. I'm going to go 1st. I'm going to coast. I'm going to come out of there in 2nd. I have to be, when you pass somebody in this game, or in order to be next to them, you have to be going their speed. So I could have been here. It's all the same, but I can still be in 1 here. So I'll do that just for an example. And then I will do 2. Where's that 3rd dice? 3. I'm gonna do 4. So kind of plotted my route here. So I'm gonna hit this turn at 1. He's making me go around him. I'm gonna coast out at 1 as well, and then just go 2, 3, 4. Having the middle lane here again guaranteeing at least a second. I'll at least be going second, which I'll take. And I have 4 focus tokens, but I'm going to roll these one at a time. And we'll see how we deal with them. So no hazard. I'm right here. Going around the corner. Still going. I didn't get a hazard. Trying to pull next to the orange guy. So I have my first hazard right here. I can keep rolling. You can stop at any time you want. I keep going. I have to roll these. I mean, I could stop now, but I can at least roll one more to not lose control. So we're good. So now that I only have 1 hazard, I know this one, even if it is a hazard, I won't spin out. So I'll be here in 4th. I could have stopped there at 3rd. Might have been a wise decision, but we're gonna go for it here for 1 lap. And I'm gonna stop here at 4th gear. Take this away. And let's get into it. So now it's the last turn of this round is gonna be the red guy. Red guy is going to go rolling. Oh, he's just rolling 2 white dice because he's a little bit faster than, he's a little bit better than this orange car. Probably is equal to me, but we'll see. He's gonna move 4 spaces because it's 3 plus this blank 1 dice. So he's gonna come out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The most efficient line, I believe, is what it is. Generally competitive racing line. Yeah, so competitive racing line means he's got to stop me right there. He'll be here in 2nd. So it's the highest gear of the corner, and he'll be in 2nd. Which is good for him because he's making me go 1 more space, but also he's still going slow enough where I get to go first next round, or this round, because now we're flipping this over, and we're in the white round. And fastest is me. I get to go first. So I need to break down to 2. So I'm going to use this break dice along with this 2 to break down to 2. I'll continue in 2nd here. And also 2nd over here, which is interesting. How can I get there? I can do that. So I can actually coast down into 1 and block him in this turn. So I could do that just fine. Even though the speed limit here is 2, I can still go 1. It's fine. And I would block him there, meaning he'd have to use more spaces around me. So we're gonna go with that. And we're just gonna roll it again 1 by 1 because I'm scared. So we'll just roll. You have to roll these 2 together because it's a break dice and a regular dice they roll together. So luckily I didn't get any hazards there, so I can continue on. Got 1 hazard. Still here. Didn't get a hazard there, so because I only have 1 hazard and 1 more dice to roll, I can immediately take this spot. I'll be here in 1st gear. Take my 1st gear token. Flip it over to the black side. Mark that I've gone in the white round. And it is now the red car's turn because they're 2nd fastest. And they're going to roll the 2 white dice because, again, they're a little bit faster than orange. And they're going to move 5 spaces. So competitive racing line. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're going to be still on the outside. So I made them go all the way around me, but they still moved ahead of me. They're in between 2 tiles that are 2 miles per hour. So it will end its turn in 2nd. So it came from 2nd. It's going to end in 2nd. And that's it. So now orange car is going to roll a red, and so you can already tell that the dice that it rolls kind of gives it a little bit slower. I mean, it did come from the back, so it's still kind of apparent that you're getting some good examples of the difficulty of these cars, and this one has more of a chance to move less spaces. But we'll roll these 2 and see again. So he's actually going to move 5 spaces. In the best way that it can. So 1, 2, 3, 5. We'll put him out here on the outside. And he'll be in 2nd now. And actually, as luck would have it for this guy, he's going to be going second in this next round. So I'll show you how that works. So that's the end of the white round. Flipping this guy over, we're now in the black. So we go to see, there's 3 things that tell you who goes first in the next round is speed. So they're both going the same speed. The next factor is distance. Whoever's farthest on the track is going to be this guy right here. If they were tied, it's whoever's closest to the inside of the next turn, but not worrying about that now. It's this guy's go. And the red guy is going to be rolling 2 white dice to see where he goes. He's going to move 4 spaces. And these hazard parts don't matter. Like there's these 2 spots right here that if you enter this lane and exit this lane, you automatically get 2 hazards. We're not worrying about that in this race, or for AI at least. For me, you for sure worry about it, and we'll see if we have to cross it, but I don't think we will. So we have 4 spaces to go. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's had a nice joyride around those corners, which is cool. But he's exiting a 2-mile-per-hour turn, entering a 4. I'm gonna give him a 2, because you decide again. When it comes down to you're in between 2, you can decide to kind of have a little competitive advantage on that aspect. So that's his go. Time for orange, because they're going faster than I am right now, and they're going to roll the red and the white dice. And so here's another scenario. So what are the rules? He rolled 2 of these dice, meaning he can move 3 spaces. The rules here that I have on the sheet say, if a DC's roll reduces its movement, DC is a driverless car. If it reduces its movement to 3 or fewer, it may suffer a loss of control. You roll 2 more break dice, which are right here. And if the total of all hazards is now 3 or greater, that driverless car suffers a loss of control at the end of its movement. So right now, it's moving 3 spaces. I'm going to roll these 2, and even if I get 1 hazard, he's going to lose control at the end of his 3rd thing. So I'll show you how that works. So you got his 3rd one. The rules of this say if he has 3 or more these hazards, he loses control. So what happens is he'll move his normal 3. He'll go 1, 2, 3. He'll be here, but unfortunately for this dude, he took that corner a little bit too hot, and he'll be at a 0-0 right here. So his car is off the track. His next turn is putting his car back on the track and then starting at 0. So he is definitely, he's falling behind big time. Check something real quick. All right, so that's lucky for us, but again, that's how it shows him how. It shows you how the AI is, how it can be a little bit of a rookie driver, that's the rookie difficulty of this driver. So now it's my turn. I get to do stuff. So let's do 1. I have to. This is a 2 corner here. I have to be careful about that. And go ghosts. Let's not do foreshadowing here. I'll do 2, 3, 4. So if I can meet him there, I can at least go first next round. I think that's might be the best way to go. Question is, I got 4 tokens. I don't want to go all out. I'm just gonna do them one by one. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're good, because I haven't rolled a hazard yet, and I have 2 more dice, so that's fine. I'm going to end next to him in 4th gear. I had to pass him at 2 or more. It had to be 4, because the way my dice was laid out, so we're doing that. Flipping over to the white round. It is my turn, because I'm in 4th gear, and we're coming up on a maximum 4 mile per hour here, so I might shift down a peg. We'll see how this works. You can lay out your route, and then see how it goes. But I'm going to actually, I might go slow around this corner, maybe. I'd be going too slow there. So maybe I'll do with this. I'll keep going at 4. Coast at 4. Then I will go 3. I have to be in 4 here, but there's it's a max limit there. I might just do that. So I still have some wiggle room here. I don't want to slow down that much, but I'm gonna roll all these together here. I'll pre-mark it. I would be here in second if all of these dice go well. So let's see. Let's see how they roll. All were good. No errors there. So I'm gonna grab 4 of these dice. Or sorry, 4 of these focus tokens. And I will move my car up here in second. So effectively blocking that turn. Forcing this guy, if it were a human driver, forcing them to come into this lane here, and the speed limit being 4. Yeah. Or the highest gear, I guess. I didn't really have to take that. But that's fine. We're good. So it's now the red turn, and it's going to be rolling a 2 white dice, because it's a faster car. And it's going to move 5 spaces. So it's going to go, again, as best in the best competitive line that it can. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take him here. Let me just check the rules real quick on that. It's kind of it's an interesting one. It says the driver of this car is opt for more outside when all other factors are equal. Use the outside lane of the current tile if on a corner. It can't because I've taken it. Use the outside lane if the next upcoming corner is a straight. So it's neither. So we'll give it the inside just because it can't go anymore. It's either be middle or the inside or out. So I'll give it that. It's going to be in 4th because it's on the highest speed limit here is 4. So that's how you determine what gear they ended on, which that is easy to understand once you get going. So we're now down here. And what happened here is he spun out last, so he's going to move his car here. And then all he's going to do for this whole turn is start over next round. So he's now in 0 for the next. And that's what I should have actually drawn a token. Did I have drawn a token for that? Oh, it does say draw 1 damage token. So we're going to rewind to see what happens here because it could have changed some things here. So let's do this. To pull the yellow flag, which doesn't matter for him. So what I pulled a yellow flag out of the bag for him, and he was already far behind. But what the yellow flag is, oh, yeah, that's interesting. So it'll give me a mulligan on that one. So yellow flag means only cars in 0 or 0 could be overtaken. So it's a caution lap. So you could not have overtaken me here. I don't think I could have overtaken this guy here. So we're gonna call that a rule that I should have pulled the thing from the bag. It might not have been that token in the first place, but here we are. So regardless, he's now here. We're in the black round, and it is red's turn. He's going to go roll these 2 white dice. He's going to go 5 spaces. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Outside, he's in between a 3 and a 5. I'm going to give him 3rd gear. That. And then it is my turn. I'm in 2nd gear here. I only have to be if I'm behind him, I have to be in 4th gear. It'd be nice to start the next round also, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm in 2nd gear. All the dice I'm just putting right here. 3, 4, coast in here, coast also. Right now I'm in 4th. I could stop there. But where's the fun in that? I'm going to do... Okay, maybe I'll just use this 2. So I'll continue in 2. Do 3, 4, coast, coast. I'll still be in 4th. I'll go first next, which I think I'll just do that. So I'm going to roll these one by one. Hazard. We're good. No need to roll the other one because we've already exceeded our limit. So I'm going to be there in 4th. I don't get any focus tokens, but it's fine. I'll be here in 4th for now. Now it is finally he gets to get up. He gets to get off of his off the block here. He's going to roll a red and a white. He's going to move 5 spaces. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the most competitive line he can do, and he'll end his turn in. And I'm choosing that. You know what? I'm going to choose 4th for him because I want to see him catch up a little bit. Again, he's leaving a corner at 2, about to enter a corner that's at 4, so you get to choose whether you want 2 or 4. And I'm going to give him 4 because I want him to go. I want to give him a chance. It's not really a chance, but we'll see. We're now on the white. Fastest car goes first. We're both in 4th gear, but I am further ahead on the track, so I'm going to go first. I will. There's a 3rd coming up here. I'm going to cruise past this guy here. Maybe I won't. I'm going to go on cruise 1. Then I will do 3. This is an interesting line here. This is my first time playing this course. Interesting line here. Leaving, I could go here to down, but I'm going to go 3. If I enter this lane here, I have to be in 2nd. And if I leave that lane, I have to be in 2nd. But I'm going to play by those rules. Let's see. And not exceed the gear, so I'm not going to. So I'll be in 2nd here. And I will leave in 2nd. Does that help me with this corner? I don't think it does. It's still kind of a. I want to go faster. But I can exit this here. Let's back this up. So I'm in 3rd right now. I could do, and I can't go more than 3 in this corner here. So I'm right here. So I'm gonna coast out of there. Good. I could do shift down to 2 for a second. I'm over here in 3. Get out of there in 4, 5. So it's a pretty hot line. Like it's not ideal, but it would put me in a good spot. I have a bunch of focus tokens, so I'm gonna roll these one by one, and then see how this goes. We're good. Front of the red car now. It's fine. Blocking the. So I have a 1 here. So here's a good scenario. I've rolled 2 hazard dice. I can stop right here in 4th if I want to, which I actually might do. Because there's really no need for me to go as fast as I was, or I could pay for this next one and end here. So I'm going to actually end my turn right here, 4th. I think it's a good call, and we'll see if that works out for me. And there in 4th. And now it'll be the orange guy's turn, rolling a red and a white die. He's going to go 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 5. It seemed like I counted it just one by one, but it was actually, that is the most efficient line that he could go to maintain the outside is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even though it looked like a roll and move, it was pretty much, that's how it is. And the max speed limit right here is 4. Gonna rock a 4 right there. And now it's finally the red guy's turn here. And he's gonna roll the 2 white dice. He's gonna move 4 spaces because one of these hazards showed. So it's 3 plus this blank one 4 times. So again, the most competitive line you can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because he favors the outside. Oh, he's moving 4, so it'd be in front of me. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. AI favors the outside. So it'll be in front of me. And then he's between 1 and 3. It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned because I'm going 4th, so he can't start before me. So I'll just give him a 3. He'll be in 3rd gear starting the next one. So it is now the black round. We're both again in 4th, but since I'm farther along on the track, I get to go first. And I get to plot my route. So I'm gonna coast by this guy at 4, which is fine. I will do, I could use this 4 here. Because even though I'm in 4th, you can use this die as a continuation of 4th as well as a coast. I would do 4, 3, 2. There's a nice long lane here, so I'm gonna go 4, 3, 2. I get down here in 1. I'm gonna coast out of there at 1. I mean, this is a perfect line. This is, in my world, this would be the perfect. So continuing in 4th, gearing down to 3rd, 2. There's a speed limit here of 1 of 1st gear. So it's kind of a symphony of movement here. We're trying to make sure we are efficient with the dice. We're not using the big guys here, so we're gonna roll them one by one. I'm hoping. What I'm scared of, no, it should be fine. What I'm scared of is if you can kind of play around with. I think we should be fine. My fear is if the red car ends in this space on his turn, he'll be. The rules say he'll be in 5th gear, just because there's a straightaway here and he's not in between 2 corners. So kind of nervous at that, but there's no way I can exit that at 5th. There's just no way. So I'm just gonna roll them one by one and see where we're going. So that's 4th, 3rd, slowing down here on this big turn in 2nd. No hazards yet. I have 3 more dice to roll. Going in hot on this corner here, and because I haven't rolled a hazard yet, I get to forget about these because they're not going to roll. Even if they roll hazards, I can still move that way. So I'm going to be here in 1st. We'll see if that benefits me. I don't know if it will. I'm close to the end of the line here, so it'd be nice. Orange car goes next because orange car is in 4th gear, as red is in 3rd. Orange car rolls the red and the white together. It's going to go 5 because it didn't roll any hazards. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much a nice, easy, for the AI, this is kind of easy because the outside is good in this one. In this specific map, it actually works out as if you're rolling moving, but it's 1, 2. That's the most competitive it can be. It's between 5 and 3, so you can give it whatever you want. You can give it a 3 or a 5. So I will give it a 5th gear ending. Kind of makes sense. He's coming out of here in 5th and continuing on. And then now, oh wait, that's actually white. That's good. So the good thing about this is, you know, if you keep track of it well, you know what round you're in. So now I know that we're still in the black. So make sure that everyone that is going has either a white or a black, and if they still have a black gear token, it's still their turn. So red still has to go. I'm going to roll 2 white dice. We go 5 spaces. So let's see how this works for them. We go 1, 2, 3. it's gonna beat me. 4, 5. Yep, it is gonna beat me. Unless it crashes. Let's do this again. So it's gonna move 5 spaces. Again, the most competitive line you can do, not cheating yourself, or not cheating them. It's gonna be 1, 2, cut into here for 3, cut out of there for 4, and then get next to me for 5. And because of the rules that I interpret, I can go back and we'll see if I'm wrong based off of the driverless car rules. It says if it, I will read these verbatim because I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Should have foresaw it. If a driverless car stops on a space that crosses between 2 tiles with different speeds, you choose the limit. But corner tiles take priority over straight tiles, and these also the corners over straights. The way I interpret this wording is, if it's on a straight tile, mark it with a gear 5. If it's so it's on a straight, which this is a straight, it's the 5th gear. If a driverless car stops on a space that crosses between 2 tiles with different speed limits, meaning if this one has a speed limit, and it does, and if this one has a speed limit, then you would choose the speed limit. In this case, it's a straightaway, so he's going to be in 5th. So he might take. We're only doing 1 lap, but I have a fear he will be winning this one. He's going to be winning it because he default moves 3. So it is what it is. We're just going to play it as that. Now it's the white turn. It's white round. He's in 5th gear. He's going to go first, rolling 2 white dice. And he's going to move 4 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He finishes first, which is, you only plan so much. And I could have finagled some more dice or found a way to do that. But this turn really, it's tough. It's tough when you're facing this AI specifically, because if it gets around that faster than you do, then you're kind of screwed. But regardless, we'll finish this out at least till I get second, because I know that's how it's going to go. But the orange car's turn, rolling red and the white. Okay, so here we go. So it's going to suffer. It potentially suffers a loss of control. Now we have to roll 2 break dice, because now its movement has been reduced to 3 or less. In this case, 3, because there's 2 of these. So now you would roll 2 of these, and if there's another exclamation point, it would suffer loss of control. And it's fine. So it's only going to move 3. In this case, it's going to go 1. It'll be here in 3rd gear. And then it's my turn to bring it on home. I'll just finish nice and slow with 1, and I'll just finish it in 2nd. Why not? And let's see if I'll crash across it. I will roll all these at once. And we're solid. We only get 1 of the hazards, so I finished in 2nd. Again, you could see using 2 different difficulties of this driverless car variant how different they can be, how more susceptible to loss of control the easier difficulty cars can be. And I think that it's just pretty cool. So I used the red had the silver variant, or the silver difficulty level. The orange car had the rookie, and there's even an amateur one. So the amateur one, you're rolling 2 red dice, so there's more chances of getting the exclamation points when you roll that. The midfielder, so there's 3 more difficulties on top of the silver. So 3 more difficulties higher than what the red car was. And the midfielder would roll red, or 1 white and 2 red dice. So potentially the max it can move, and the red car can move 5 right now, but if in the next difficulty it could potentially move 6 if it rolled the dice right. And then the veteran, 1 difficulty above that is 2 white dice, 1 red dice. And then champion, meaning like this is the best driver possible, rolls 4 dice. So it rolls the rolls these 4 dice, meaning it could potentially move 7 spaces in one go. So they also have it. That's for dry weather, and for this, for wet weather, it's basically the same dice but one less space. So we did dry weather, and that's kind of how this played out. So super, I'm loving this game. I'm going to be streaming this a bunch too because it's nice, easy to set up. It's always varied, and we'll get some bigger races in with some more difficulties. Maybe just see how this champion works. How all of these work. It's up to me to remember what difficulty each driver is at. So that is Formula. I want to say Formula. It's not Formula. It is Rallyman GT. I want to say Formula GT for some reason. I don't know why. But that is just, again, this is track number 6 in the rule book. And I think the rule book, stops at, let me see it, it's right here. The rule book has, it goes up to 8 tracks that are preset. Then there are a bunch on Board Game Geek that you can that people have made that you can just copy. And there's, if you went all in on the Kickstarter, which I did, they have a user. Obviously, they have up to, I think it's up to 30 some courses. The app for I actually recommend, if you have the app, pull it up here. The app is better. It's tough for me to show, but the app is better because it actually shows you in a certain way how the tracks are laid out, and it shows you how many courses you can make. So if you have every expansion, there's 3 of them. You can do up to 37 tracks that this game produced. There's a couple. There's many more realistic tracks in the files section of Board Game Geek that some guy worked on, and it's super cool. But yeah, this is a solo variant. The official solo rules of this game is as the old Rallyman was, as I'm to understand it, the time trial. So actually, I printed it off just to make it easier. But is you're racing against the clock, and you mark down what gear that you're in at the end of each turn, and that equates to a certain amount of time. So if I end in 6th gear, that just adds 10 seconds onto that, my lap time. If I end in 5th gear, I add 15 seconds. There's Excel sheets online that you can do it that just add up everything quicker, but you would just mark those down. At the end of the lap time, you would put it there. And then for every focus token that you gain throughout that race, you're just racing yourself. So usually you think there's no need to get these because you don't have to. You still might suffer loss of control. So these focus tokens, for every one that you save, it takes a second off that time. So there's always a chance to beat your time, and it's pretty fun to play a first round very safe, and then see how fast you can go for the next one. So that's Formula. Oh man, that's Rallyman GT, and I highly recommend it. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I will come back with much more of this content soon. Cheers, guys.